have to work things out. All you can do is just keep going. Life is sort of a pretty short experience, and you have to maintain some kind of an equilibrium. I live very much for the moment. I think the future is very important, but the moment is here. You don't know if you're going to be in the future. I don't know. There's too many variables. You live for today, you do for today. There's a limit as to even what is going to keep my imagination going.
And I just want to keep busy and keep active.
I really enjoy too much what I'm doing. I really love what I'm doing.
I don't think that's the image that the press really wants from me. I think the press doesn't really like hearing that, to be honest with you. I mean, I do a lot of things, and I don't like to talk about them, but they'd much rather see me, beating someone up than being nice to somebody. It fits the image better for them. And I think that's fine. It doesn't matter.
Abraham Lincoln would probably not be electable today because of television. He was not a handsome man, and he did not smile at all. He would not be considered to be a prime candidate for the presidency, and that's a shame, isn't it?
And which is interesting about The Apprentice is that I fire people. That's what I do. I fire people. They used to think that I was really this horrible, flame-throwing, terrible tyrant, right? Now I go on a television show where basically what I do is I fire people, and everyone thinks I'm such a nice guy, which tells you what a bad image I had before The Apprentice. And I think that's probably one of the reasons The Apprentice did so well.
I think that without a certain innate intelligence and without a certain drive, you're not going to be successful.
I don't consider myself a workaholic. I mean, I work, but it's not work. Work to me is going on a 2-week vacation. If somebody said you have to go away for 2 weeks, you're going to Africa on a safari, there's not going to be any phones, you know what? You get me out of here, right? So that's, to me, like, that would be work. I think the hunt is always fun, whether it's deals, whether it's women, whether it's anything.
I really got very lucky in a way. It's been a pretty good experience for me. I do one book, it's a bestseller. I do another book, it's a and #1 bestseller. Both books were #1. I built the Taj Mahal, which everyone said that's going to be his downfall. The Taj Mahal, it's over $1 billion building, and it's turned out to be one of the best deals I've ever made. And they passed a 1986 tax law, which was just absolute stupidity by the politicians. And we have, we have a situation where you have everything going perfectly. And then one day you wake up and the world is coming to an end from the standpoint of the economy. One of the things is, frankly, I was doing so well and it was all so easy that I took it easy. I used to say, and in fact I think I said in my first book that, and maybe this was foolish, but I really meant it, that someday I'd like to maybe lose everything for a period of time to see who's loyal and who's not loyal. And you can't guess it, you can't predict it. You think certain people would be loyal no matter what. And it turns out that they're not, and you just can't predict it. It's very difficult. And all of a sudden I started relying on other people, and I said, listen, you went to the Wharton School of Finance, you're a genius, you take care of this, and you take care of that, and you do this. And I stopped, and I got rid of people, and I did it myself, and since then things have been fantastic. A lot of people were giving me a hard time, but I just think that I've had a lot of luck. I've had a lot of friends, I've had a lot of good friends. And overall, I've done really well with it, and I'm very happy about it. It was an experience that I don't think I want to go through it again, I have to tell you this. I went through a period of 2 years that was truly tough. You know what it's like. You're really in a position where I think that if you had to do it again, I'm not sure you could. You have parents, and you have people that adore you, and you have people that for 15 years, nothing went wrong. And then all of a sudden, the world seems to be coming to an end. I mean, it just seems to be coming. And it's just, it was just sort of an incredible experience for me. My father wouldn't have been in a position to bail me out, but he certainly helped. Other people were there. But the incredible thing is you can't really tell. You can't really tell who's going to be there, who's not. My mother was great. I have a sister who's a federal judge, and she's very, very strong. She's a fantastic woman. I never knew as to loyalty whether or not she'd be there or wouldn't be there, and she was there in spades. I'm disappointed in other people. I would have bet my life on certain people. was really surprised. I really believe I know much more now. I've learned about hardship, something which really I didn't know. I went to the best school, I did great. You go to the Wharton School of Finance, you go through it easily, you do fantastically well. Everything goes smooth, you get out of school, you make a lot of money, every deal works out. I never thought I was invincible because I've seen too much, and you have to learn from history about others, so I never thought I was invincible. But I had a 15-year run that was, virtually unprecedented. I had a tremendous run, and all of a sudden, 1990 hit, and I remember there was an article, "Welcome to the 90s, Donald." The economy was crashing, and the banks were crashing, and everything was crashing. And what happened is I learned a lot about myself, because to go through a period of turmoil where everything seems to be going in the wrong direction and survive it, I think I learned for real that I'm a pretty tough guy. The casinos have turned out to be tremendous for me. And again, a lot of people were criticizing the move into the casinos and all, but they've really turned out to be tremendous. It's just worked out for me. It hasn't worked out for a lot of other people. I think a lot of that has to do with an inner strength. A lot of it also, though, has to do with other people, the loyalties of other people, how you treated other people so that maybe they are loyal. I was a little disappointed in my brother. I thought he would have fought harder than he did. It's interesting, one of my attorneys said, "Always count on your mother." Now, I maybe took advantage of my mother. I never appreciated her as much, but she was really fantastic.
Well,
she's tough. She's tough, but she's quality. I mean, more than tough, she's quality. When I was really, there's a point at which you can't push. You have to sort of sit back and wait and see how the chips are falling. And golf was something that really helped me. Through a period. I like playing for money because it gives you an interest. I mean, it really does. I'd go out on the golf course, and sometimes I'd go out with some friends who were good golfers, and you'd play, and you really don't think about all of the problems of the world and the problems of everything. And at one point, I guess I owed pretty close to $5 billion, but I had assets far in excess of that. The banks, my banks have had a great confidence in me. They know I'm good. They know I do it the best, and they also know that I'm honest. I'm not saying I would have been easy had the other route gone, but I will tell you this. They absolutely had a choice, and they could have gone a different route, and I think if they did that, it would have been bad for everybody, including them, and I think they understood that. It takes time. You got to be able to get over the hump. When I did Trump Tower, in all fairness, people said I was totally crazy. It couldn't possibly succeed. It was too big, it was too expensive, it was too everything, and it turned out to be probably the most successful condominium development ever. I will tell you, 2 years before I started construction, people thought I was totally crazy to do it. It really worked out to be fantastic.